feel like with this disease specifically, it's so important to have a supportive family as you're going through it. And I think that's also one of the really successful things about the film, the way the story is structured, is having that sort of focus on this strong family, and how that helps them to cope with the deal with the disease. Could maybe the actors speak to sort of what that experience was like of bringing that sort of feeling of family connection as you're going through something so difficult to the screen? Was that a challenge?
This one's for you. No, these are Kristen's.
Kristen, maybe
We can help.
Yeah, okay, so I think a really common sentiment that is shared is that, you hear it about someone with Alzheimer's and instantly, wow, that must be so hard for the family. And I don't discredit that in any way whatsoever. It's absolutely, it's atrocious, it's sickening, it's hard for me to even talk about without feeling like I'm trivializing it by using the wrong words. But what I love about this movie is that it's about a family that sort of discovers in losing someone, you discover so much about why this sort of pillar exists. Like if she hadn't started to sort of step out of this light, you might not ever really blink your eyes to focus on her. And I play somebody who absolutely, as we all do, to a certain extent, take advantage. Take for granted. Sorry, I'm nervous. Take for granted certain things that seem so apparently a natural part of life. And then as soon as those things sort of start to descend into a darkness, it's for anyone, it's just, it doesn't speak to how, what good of a person that he is, or the fact that maybe some people here feel that Alex's character was not as strong. To polarize and define those things so clearly is prejudice. It's prejudice. It's personally informed, and it's, of course, we're all going to have like certain opinions and feelings that are like so completely assigned to us because of who we are. But like really, this movie just makes you go, oh my God, I should really just open my eyes to certain things that are so clearly in front of me all the time, every single day. And, family, man. Yeah.
I want to echo the last scene when you're, reading to your mother, and when they talk about they're there, just the two of them, and they talk about love. I remember sitting with my own father when he had Alzheimer's, and we were sitting outside, and you could hear the traffic going by. And he said, listen to the water. I said, no, that's traffic. And he said, no, I hear water. I said, no, you hear traffic. And he said, I hear water, and it's beautiful. And it was a moment I was like, oh wow, Daddy, I hear the water too. That's incredible. The water is so beautiful. And you go with it. You just go with it. And it's the same thing. It's just people with Alzheimer's, as Kristen said, it's terrible, and you go through all the ups and the downs, and they tell you once you've seen one case of Alzheimer's, you've seen one case of Alzheimer's. And one of the things I always say is never judge a family in how they deal with this disease, because you never know how you will deal with it. And people come in, come out. But that moment, I think, crystallized really what the film is about, what it's about family, it's about love. And people with Alzheimer's bring you down out of the traffic, out of the work, out of the noise, to the moments in life, the moment that is happening right here, right now. So you can find beauty in a really incredible, difficult situation.
I think we have time for a few questions from the audience. Yes, sir.
Well, okay. First, I would like to congratulate everyone involved in the movie. beautiful masterpiece.
So,
And my question goes to Mrs. Moore. I would like to ask, what is one of the most challenging aspects of playing a character so complex and so fragile at the same time as Alice?
So the question for those who couldn't hear it is for Mrs. Moore, what were some of the challenges for playing a character like this, so complex and at times fragile?
I think representing something authentically, that I hadn't actually experienced. And, as actors, we make stuff up all the time. And we can say like, oh, if I was this person, I would do this, and I would do that, and I have all this freedom. But in this case, there are certain behaviors that I felt like I really needed to understand. And in my research, I found people were extraordinarily generous in imparting their experiences as people who were dealing with disease personally, as a patient, and people who were dealing with it as caregivers or clinicians or researchers. Everybody was very, very anxious that I have the information, because there's so, as we were saying, there's not a whole lot known about it. We still don't really, we're still searching for a cure. There's people who don't have a lot of information. So everyone wanted to share their experience with me. So I just wanted to get it right. And one of the things that I said to Rich and Wash over and over again, because we would have these kind of Skype calls and go through the script and stuff, that I didn't want to perform any behavior that I hadn't actually observed. So everything that you see in the movie is something that I saw. I saw in various support groups. Some of the language was actually taken from some of the women I spoke to. That idea of like not being able to find themselves and stuff, and like, that was from somebody who was in the first year of their diagnosis, actually. And then all the behaviors you see later, the physicalizations and stuff, were things that I saw in patients that were more declined. So that was the hardest part. And Rich and Wash were great when I would be like, no, I can't do this, I didn't see that, I didn't, and so I tried to represent it in that way.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I think that's about all the time we have for questions today, but I would like to thank you all so much for coming tonight. Thank you all very much.